I guess we should get down to what did you guys make of the Brady Tkachuk deal? I mean, it really comes out of nowhere last weekend, shocks everybody in the middle of the final round of the U.S. Open. But boy, everybody gets talking. And it really kind of got the dominoes moving this week. Thoughts on this one? Razor, start with you with the East.
Yeah, talking about the East and leaving that out just because we need a whole segment on that one. It's really not surprising at all that he left Ottawa. We've all been able to see the interviews and see this kind of coming down the pipe. We talked about it for the last 4 months since the Olympics that Brady seemed to be the number one guy. But for him to go to Florida and end up with his brother, and
you knew this was happening,
and basically telling Steve Staios from hindsight, when we hear Steve Staios saying he only wanted to go to one place, and they make that happen and they make it available. It's a different league, huh, Kami? Like, these guys calling their shots is something else. I can't believe we've gotten to that point, but I'm curious, it'll be obviously the top 9 of the Florida Panthers crazy. We think those two guys are going to go crazy. The Tkachuk bros, the whole thing. It'll be interesting to see how that all kind of comes together. But yeah. Brady calling his shot and going to Florida of all places is really something. And I'm sure the first thing I said to a few people, around hockey the last couple of days was, Commissioner Bettman can't love this that much. He's got to be a little interested in how these agents are making this happen and what's going to happen, because if you get too much of this and you turn into the NBA, it's a whole nother thing. So hopefully this is kind of a one-off summer, but it is fascinating, and Brady might be the first. I know we had the Gaudreau and the Tkachuk. I know Matthew already did it in Calgary, but this one was like right in our face because we knew it was coming. We knew it happened, and it did.
I was looking back, I was kind of dying laughing. Oh, no, I'm totally committed to Ottawa. Yeah, no, I love Ottawa. Okay, come on now. Yeah. Jesus Christ. Don't treat us like we're stupid. I mean, I guess you got to say it, but I mean, on the one hand, I think that's awesome from a player's perspective. That's great. On the other hand, we've talked about it before with these no trade things. God. And I don't think you can rip on Steve Staios. Like, when you're only, I don't know. I thought that was a pretty good return. Like, what else are you supposed to do? And at the end of the day, at least he told you that, hey, look, I'm not coming back here. Like, I'm not extending. This isn't going to be long term. So at least you can try and get in front of it a little bit, and you can get the ball and get as good as you can from one team. But yeah, I mean, you'd like to touch on what you said, Razor. Like, it's not like this was a total surprise. It will be interesting to see. I know everybody's all thrilled up there in Toronto about, we saw Austin Matthews and he, had a little video. So now he's Leafs forever, but we'll see. We'll see. I mean, we got Austin Matthews and we got Connor Hellebuck coming down the pipe here. It will be interesting to see what happens.
Seaball, if Hellebuck goes, if this Hellebuck smoke is fire, that's really, really interesting, because we didn't really hear much of that. Like, we expected these other guys.
No.
If that one goes, oh, mama, that's something else.
If Hellebuck's gone, I think immediately the Jets should fire Scott Arniel. It's Arniel's fault.
Next.
Just get him in there. I give Staios credit, though, considering the noise, how noisy it was getting with Brady Tkachuk, and to get in front of it before it blew up. But going back on the whole discussion of no trade clauses, look, to have that many guys around the league that have no movement clauses, if you can get them, good on you, right? If someone's going to give it to you, good for you. But you cannot tell me that there is a third of the league that is worth the price of admission that deserves a no movement clause. And if the players are going to call the shot, then only say, these are the two teams I'm willing to waive my, like, come on, man. Like, you want to do something right, but at the same time, like, don't hold the organization hostage that just paid you whatever, 50, 60, 70, 80 million dollars over the last however many years. That's the part I think fans, media, and that's where I think as the players get more power, and good for them after all these years, after a century of eating it from owners. But at the same time, I think at some point that maybe the pendulum has swung too far here. And with a new CBA, it's not getting changed anytime soon.
I'm with you, Seaball. I agree. And I also agree on the NBA point that Razor that you made. Like, we don't need the LeBron James super team. Like, I don't like that either. In saying that though as well, Seaball, and I'm with you on this, but also it's like, hey, like, when the guy wins an Olympic gold medal for the country that's just south, I understand there are other things going into it, but at the end of the day, it's just a sport where, you know what, he's playing for his country. It's not great if he has to go up there and basically apologize for winning. Like, that's not, you know, so I think in some ways, let's be a little bit more mindful up there in Canada and treat, hey, I don't know how to word it without sounding like a total asshole, but just be a little bit more mindful. If that makes any sense at all, I don't know if it does, but
yeah, no.
I guess what I'm trying to say is that I can see, I can see where these guys are coming from. It's been a perfect
storm, and again, that's why it's been a perfect storm, and you just hope that that's what it is, and that goes away.
Yeah,
we had
way too many no trade
discussion.
Seaball, yes, I'm with you.
Agreed.
Way too many no trade.
We had a very civil conversation. We had a very civil conversation several months ago about this, but we got it cut out because nobody wanted us to get strangled by to get too politicized. We're doing it now. But I will say this.
Let's not get canceled, fellas.
We're moving on. No, we're not getting canceled, but yes, I think anyway.
I know.
We move on. Simon Nemec going to the Flames. How about the Flames though? The Flames going all in with 2 firsts for Simon Nemec out of New Jersey.
Nemec is I love the move by Calgary to get them. I think he's a great defender. 2 overall pick. You can put him into your lineup. He was behind the Hughes thing. That's a whole nother issue in New Jersey. For Calgary to swoop in, get that guy, you can build a back end. We love Craig Conroy. You love Craig Conroy, Kami. I think he's doing a great job, and that's a perfect fit for Calgary. Great job by them.
Quietly, like there's no pressure. We still got another year or 2 before that arena. Like, you got lots of picks there in Calgary, but move them off. Let's get some players. Let's slowly but surely. I like it. I think Craig's doing a good job. And like I said, the goal is, I think they got 2 more seasons, I believe, in the Dome. The goal is 2 years from now. Let's be moving up 2 years from now. So I like the move. I think it's great.
I do want to touch on quickly with the Leafs. Obviously, Razor, you touched on Brandon Carlo going for a couple of 3rd rounders. But, you know, John Chayka coming in, he's been busy in recent weeks, right? I mean, you look at all the moves he's making. They land Radish, they trade Woll, as you mentioned. They draft Gavin McKenna, I think, as expected. We've speculated that for months. How about Justin Bieber, though? What do you guys think of the NHL? You know, I mean, that's a pretty big splash to have one of the biggest stars on the planet stepping up on the stage on draft night. Razor, that's not nothing. Or Kami, you want this one?
Oh, you know what? I'll go first because you know what? This is actually one thing that I've actually have seen in the last 3 days. We wrapped up our 18 holes yesterday, and Bieber, I'm like, oh, you know what? Actually, Justin Bieber looked pretty good. He looked pretty good from what I'm not a believer or whatever, but the guy's had a great career. From what I've heard and seen of this guy, he kind of looked like a disaster for the last few years. And he played in that charity hockey game in LA, and I heard some stuff about him, like skating and then not even showering and right out of the rink and just. I was actually pleasantly surprised. I thought Justin Bieber looked very good.
Yeah, he did look good. I would have loved for him to go along with the Toronto Maple Leafs select Gavin McKenna. I was on the radio, so I was at the golf course. I was heading home, listening to the pick with my son, and he just said, "Mr. McKenna, come to the Leafs." I was like, give me come on, stay with tradition. But the Biebs being up there, the league's continues to be a cool place, and they got him there. They got him in Buffalo, and for the Leafs, they've had a massive week, right? Chayka has been all over the place. He's making his moves. He's putting a stamp on things. I like the fact he's putting a stamp on it, similar to kind of what we talked about in Bo Byram, just saying, this is what I'm going to do, and I want to be the first guy, and I want to go. Chayka's kind of doing the same. Like, this is how I'm going to run it. I'm not going to dip my toe in. I'm going to jump right in. I got the 1st overall pick. I'm going to get Jim Hiller, who I like and who Austin Matthews likes, and we're going to go from there. So the Leafs are, Kami talked about the last episode. They're trending up. We thought they'd take McKenna, and now Now we get to see if Gavin's the real deal. But yeah, the draft was good with Biebs up there doing that.